I had a really cool idea for a puzzle that wasn't so much a design as it was a color scheme. Or maybe a color scheme attached to a design. Or a color scheme attached to a design attached to a concept. Look, I don't really know what this is, but I had a cool idea to take a shape-shifting puzzle and then bandage it up and then stick each of the bandage pieces to be a different color. The idea here being that you could only solve based on the shape-shifting qualities, and the bandaging would prevent you from solving it like a regular 3x3. I think this is a really cool concept, and I thought of no better puzzle than my Faceted Tetrahedron to be the guinea pig in this experiment. I started just by rushing through the Faceted Tetrahedron build. I figured I already have a video on this, so if you want to see the actual build for this puzzle, I'll leave a link to that in the description of this video below. But after the actual building was done, it was time to start bandaging all the pieces together, and so I started marking everything out into the Methods Bandage Scheme layout. I don't know why, but I really like the layout of the Methods Bandage cube. I think that it's a really nice layout for a bandage puzzle, and since bandaging all the pieces together is kind of arbitrary, I like to have some consistency between my bandage cubes, so I think this is just the layout that I prefer for all of those puzzles. And after I was finished gluing all the pieces together, I had to disassemble everything, which is usually quite hard with these bandage puzzles because I have to drill into each of the center caps. I got out a drill bit which would fit my screwdriver, and then I started drilling into each of the center caps, trying to make sure that I didn't lose my fingers in the process. I filled all of the gaps between the pieces with some epoxy sculpt, and after everything had hardened, I took them over to my belt sander and I started sanding all the pieces down. In hindsight, using the belt sander to sand these parts was a little aggressive, and I could probably have done this all by hand, but it saves time. After I'd finished sanding all the pieces, I rounded them over with a nail file and my usual finishing technique of some Scotch-Brite, and then it was time to start figuring out what kind of colors I was going to use for each of the pieces. As I was looking through my sticker drawer, I wasn't sure if I was going to go for a warm-cold scheme or some particular structured sticker scheme, but as I was looking at all the colors, I decided to go for no color scheme at all. I just scattered all of the different colors throughout the puzzle, and I think this way looks the best. Now, of course, the whole point about this puzzle is that it shapeshifts, and if I start making a few moves here, you can see pieces start to stick out, and this is how you go about both scrambling and solving the puzzle. The only way to get it back into its solved state is to get it back into its non-shapeshifted form, and that leads me to believe that there's more than one solved state for this puzzle. But I wouldn't know because I don't have the guts to scramble this puzzle up. I can't even solve the regular bandage cube. Well, I've just about lost the light here at the end of the day, but I think this puzzle looks fantastic. I think that choosing to sticker up each piece as a different color is a fantastic idea. It's also something that I can only really achieve with a shape-shifting puzzle because, of course, if this was a cube, then you wouldn't be able to tell if it was scrambled or not because it would just be a bunch of colored pieces. But I think that using this kind of a color scheme is a really cool and unique idea, and it's something that I want to expand upon in the future. I know a lot of my puzzles are shapeshifters, and I'd really love to see how this kind of design lends itself to different shapes and different structures. But anyways, I hope you guys like this puzzle. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.